Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It doesn't really feel like a Saturday for me today. I don't know what's going on. I'm a bit confused. I've got that Monday feeling. Anyway, so today we have got the third of the mobility routines that I'm going to go through with you today. Lots of different things going on. Some may be similar to what we have done before in the last two. But there are lots of new moves as well, and the great thing about mobility is you can just keep doing it, keep repeating similar routines, just to work on that sort of reaching that end range of motion and always increasing that range of motion that little bit further, so that we can get our bodies into better positions when we are training. So obviously, you know, a lot of people struggle to sit in this position, for example, in this nice deep squat, and that'll come from tight ankles, tight hips. So hopefully by working through some of these mobility routines, then you guys are opening up joints a little bit more and getting into better positions. So that's all that has to be said, really, and we can start. So you just need your mat today. And I thought I'd do it in a nicer part of the garden because it's just a little bit more chill. And we're going to start face down, and we'll go through all sorts of different things, opening up shoulders, hips, thoracic, and just working kind of full body as always. So let us begin. Also sporting some really nice sliders, which are not mine. But I wanted to do this with no shoes on today, just because I find it a bit more comfortable doing my mobility stuff without shoes on. But that's entirely up to you how you want to play it. So just set this little thing so I know how much time we've gone past. So we're going to start face down on the mat, arms out wide, and we're going to come into a scorpion. So what we are going to do is take one leg. So I shall take my left leg and I'm going to take it across my body, aiming to reach over towards my right arm. Okay, so I'm going to take that up and over and control it back down to start again. And we're just going to do that 6 to 8 times on each side, seeing if we can just get that little bit further round each time. So we're getting a nice stretch in the lower back, nice twist, and we're also opening up this left hip as well. Right, one more. And switch to the other side. So just trying to reach that foot as far up towards that hand as you can. Doesn't matter how far it comes, okay? It's just working to your own end range. And one last one. Okay. So we are going to come up into a low cobra. Okay, so we're going to be down on the forearms. We don't want to go into any severe back bends just yet. Okay, so we're going to come into a low cobra down on the forearms. Okay, still keeping your stomach engaged to protect the lower back. And we're just going to put the head up and down, just warming up the neck a little bit. So nice, slow, controlled movements. Okay, not forcing anything. So just tuck your chin down to your chest and take the head up. And just keep moving through that nice and slowly. And each movement, you might find you've just got a little extra range of motion to play with. And one more all the way down and all the way way up. Okay, nice neutral position with the head now. And we're just going to look over as far as we can to one side, slowly back over to the other side. Like I said before, they're just slow, controlled movements. Especially if we're doing this in the morning. One more each side. Okay, from there we're going to sit back onto our heels into a child's pose. Okay, so you can have the knees either together or you can have them set a little bit wider. So I like to have mine about mat width apart. Okay, I just feel like I can relax a little bit better into it. So we're just going to sink down into this child's pose, hands in front of you, taking a few breaths there before we move. And just make sure that your bum is sat right back onto your heels. Okay, from here we're going to stay nice and low and we're going to shift forward into more of an upward dog position. So we're straightening out the arms all the way this time, deepening that back bend, and we come back into our child's pose. And again, shift forward, stay low, come into that back bend. Make sure your shoulders are pushed away from your ears. So you've got a nice long neck, and again, back into child's pose. Okay, we're going to start to move through it a little bit faster, so we're back up to that upward dog, child's pose, straight forwards again, upward dog, child's pose, just getting the blood flowing a little bit faster. And we go one last one, child's pose into upwards dog. Okay, from here, tuck those toes under. We're going to come into a downward dog. Okay, send those hips right up high to the sky. Walk the heels down individually. Okay, so we're getting a nice stretch across the the hamstrings and the calves. Okay, and as you can see, really trying to push my chest towards my knees. Okay, so I've got a straight line from hams to tailbone. And we're going to move from this downward dog position back into that upward dog that we were just in. Okay, so shift forward into plank, drop the hips down, head up, and draw your belly button in. We come back to that downward dog position, walk the heels down. And forwards into plank, drop the hips down, head up, shoulders away from the ears. And again, downward dog. So we're just pausing for a second in this downward dog position and we'll move through a bit faster in a minute. We'll go one more slow one, so back into that plank, hips down, head up. Okay, we're going to move through a little bit faster now, so we're going to come downward dog, bend from the arms, come up into upward dog, hips back. Just keep moving through those two positions. Warming up the whole body nicely. Try and get those hips up higher and higher each time, so you're getting more of a stretch across the hamstrings there. We'll go one more and just relax into that child's pose again. Okay, this time have the arms behind you. Okay, down by your feet. Your hands are by your feet, and just breathe there and relax for a minute. Okay, slowly coming up, we're going to take it into an all fours position. Okay, now we know our cat and cow, our arch and our hollow. We want to find somewhere in between that, okay, where we've got a nice flat back, core is pulled in tight. Okay, what we're going to do, just do some shoulder rotations from here. So you're going to sink down into your shoulder blades. Shoulders come up towards your ears, push them down away. Okay, and we're just rolling those shoulders round and back a few times. It might feel a little bit crunchy. Take it into the other direction. Okay, now settle back into that nice tabletop position. We are going to take the left arm up out in front of us, nice and straight. Okay, the right arm, we want to make sure that we're not sinking into that. Okay, it's nice and active. We're pushing the floor away through that hand. So left arm extended up overhead, shoulder pulled down away from the ear. Okay, and keeping it up nice and high, we're just going to bend that elbow, draw it down our side. Okay, so we're engaging through this lat muscle here. So this is the position. Okay, and push out again. Always trying to keep the shoulder down away from the ear, so we've got a nice long neck. Just imagine there's a string attached onto that elbow. Someone's pulling back on it. You do 4 more, nice and controlled. And we switch over to the other side. So right hand is up. Make sure you're pushing into that left hand. Okay, nice flat back. High as we can. Draw the elbow down past the body. Push it away again. There we go, another 3. Last one. And relax. Okay, we're going to mimic a very similar movement but using both arms. So we're going to lay down our backs for that one. Okay, so laying down, draw that belly button in towards the spine. Lift the feet up off the floor. So we've got a 90-degree angle at the hips, 90-degree angle at the knees. We're going to take our arms up into that W position. Okay, so if I was, that's how I am, laying down on the floor. Okay, and what we're going to do is just keep the elbows and the back of the hand pushed against the floor, and we're going to extend up overhead and draw back down again. Okay, again, nice, slow, controlled movements. Okay, so opening up those chests, pulling the shoulder blades down away from your ears. Keep the hands pushed to the ground. Straighten them out with control. Bring them back down again with control. Okay, we're just going to keep going through those positions. So we're going from a letter Y, W, straightening out the arms, and it's more of a Y shape. As much as possible, trying to keep the elbows and the back of the hand pushed into the floor. Okay, draw your belly button in towards your spine just to protect that lower back from arching. And just feel those scapula, the shoulder blades working in all their different directions. 2 more. And relax. Okay, so straighten out the right leg. We're going to take the left knee in towards the chest. Just pull it in nice and tight, drawing it up towards your left armpit. Take a few breaths here. And we're going to take it right the way across the right hand side of the body. Okay, keeping that right hand pulling down on it. So from here, we're just going to open up the chest and the thoracic a little bit. Okay, so left arm reaching forwards, sweep it across your chest, open up, head goes over to the left, take it back in again, Reach forwards as far as you can. Sweep it across the chest, open it up. I'm going to do 8 on each side. And take the head with you so your eyes are always following that left hand. Three more on this side. And one last one. Reach forwards as far as you can and draw it back open. Okay, right, come back into the middle and we're going to switch the legs. So we're going to hug the right knee into the chest this time, straighten out the left leg, really draw it up in towards your right armpit. And we take it all the way across the left hand side of the body, and we're just going to mimic that same movement, okay, with the right arm, stretching it across as far as we can and then opening it up, okay? Another 8 times. I'm going to go through 2 final ones. And that last one. Okay, bring those knees back in to center. Grab hold of both of them, and we're just going to draw a little circle with those knees. So we're just pulling them in towards us, pushing them out away again in a little circle, massaging across that lower back. And in the other direction. Okay, and we're just going to rock on the spine, slowly and gently. Okay, increasing the momentum as we go so that we can come all the way up to sitting. Okay, but just take it slow and steady. And when you're ready, come all the way up. So we're going to come into a half kneeling position. We're going to take the right leg out front, left leg stays down, okay? Hips are square, core is nice and tight. I'm going to go through some shoulder rotations, okay, where I want minimal movement from the rest of the torso. It's all about the shoulder in its socket, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take it all the way up, overhead as far as we can, okay? So it's about that overhead range. We twist the hand outwards, which then allows us to come all the way back down again. We reverse the process to where we can, twist the hand, all the way back up, all the way over. Okay, we're going to go another 4 more. Nice and slow. Okay, just getting that shoulder to move in its complete range of motion. Just seeing if you can open it up that little bit more with every repetition that you do without moving the rest of the torso. Two more. And that final one on this side. All the way up and back round. Okay, so let's switch the leg that's forward. So left leg forward this time, working with the right arm. Goodbye, Ant. So make sure we're all nice and engaged through the core. The bum is squeezed, so we're stabilizing that whole upper body. Okay, we take that right arm all the way up as far as we can take it. Twist the palm out and come all the way around. I don't have the same range of motion on this side. And we take it all the way back again and down. So it's really important that we do these ones really nice and slowly so that we can feel the joint moving in its socket, and we just try and get through every different plane of motion that we can. 2 more. And that one, final one. All the way back and round. Okay, so similar kneeling position. We're going to keep that right knee down. We're going to take the left knee out towards the side this time though. Okay, so we want a nice right angle with that knee, so the knee's above the hip. All right, left hand in front of that left foot. Okay, and we're going to reach from the floor and we're going to open up, follow the eyes with the hand and reach all the way back down again. Opening up and down, so you should feel not only a nice stretch of opening up the chest, but we're also working that upper back region and getting a stretch across the lower back here through into the kidneys. Keep the hand nice and close as you draw it up. I've got 3 more on this side. And the last one. And down. Okay, slowly coming up to center. We switch the legs, so left knee is down, right knee is up, pointing out towards the side. Pop that right hand down inside of the foot. Okay, left hand reaches down, open up, let the eyes follow the hand, and really make sure you're reaching up towards the sky, not over rotating. We're going to go through one last one. And back down again. Okay, we're going to stay in this kneeling position, and I want you to try and make sure that your hips are facing square on. So if that's too intense for you, take that foot at a slightly less intense angle. Okay, and what we're going to do is keep the core nice and tight, and we're just going to sink over to the right hand side a little bit, still keeping hips forward, shoulders forward. Okay, so we feel a tightness in both hips, just in a very different way. We sink forwards, we push away, back up to stand. Keep the bum squeezed all the time. I'm just going to go through 10 of these. Just seeing if you can edge deeper and deeper into it each time you go. We've got 2 more on this side. Last one. Okay, switch the legs. Right knee down, left knee out. Remember, if it's too intense pointing all the way out, then just bring it slightly further forward. Okay, and just trying to keep that knee over above the ankle. So again, sinking over to this side, keeping the hips square, push back up to center again. Sinking deeper and deeper as you can. 3 more. And that final one. And push. Okay, come down. into a seated position, feet out in front of you, knees bent. Now if we can, we're going to sit up nice and tall. If you need to, just have those hands propped up behind you so you can keep that nice tall spine. Okay, and we've done this one before. We're just going to take that right knee, drop it internally as far as we can, take it back up again. Okay, 10 times. Our aim is for that knee to touch the floor. It might be a long way off yet, but just keep practicing it, adding it into your sort of daily routines. 2 more on this side. And switch over to the left leg. Left knee comes in. And this is where you might find that one is tighter than the other, so this one is tighter for me. Last 2. Okay, we're going to work both knees together now at the same time. Okay, so we're going to drop both knees over to the left-hand side. We take them back to center. We take them to the right-hand side, aiming to keep that 90-degree angle in the knees. You might find you end up starting to travel a little bit. 3 more. I'm completely off my mat now. And that's the last one. Okay, I'm going to continue with the hips, but also add in the hamstrings a little bit. So we will take left leg forward, right leg back. Again, we're just going to alternate between leaning forward, so we're stretching out this right hip, and then pushing backwards. Toes come up, hinge the hips back, and we stretch out the left hamstring. Okay, so leaning into it, pushing away, toes come up, straighten out that leg, hamstring. Forwards again, and back. 6 more. Just trying to go deeper each time. Two more on this side. Last one. Okay, switch the legs. So we've got the right leg forward, left leg back. Let's lean into it and push back, lift the toe, straighten the leg. Four more. And one last one. Okay. Sideways on the mat. We've got a couple more to go and then we're done. We're going to keep the left leg down. We're going to straighten out that right leg to the side. Okay, put your hands down and just come out as wide as you can. Okay, so you want really that knee out nice and wide and that leg out nice and straight. Okay, that's important. The leg's got to be straight, the foot's got to be flat to the floor. So you may not be quite as deep as this. Okay, and first thing we're going to do is just rock back and forth gently 10 times, deepening the stretch in that inner thigh. One more. Okay, stay in that deep position. All right, keep the right hand down to the ground, center of the chest, left hand up behind the head, bring the elbow into the middle, rotate it up towards the sky as much as you can. 8 times. Make sure you're not pulling on the head. Last one. And relax out of it. We switch sides. So right knee stays down, left leg out nice and straight, toes pointing forwards, foot flat to the floor. And we're just going to rock back and forth 10 times. One last one, and hold it there in the deep stretch. Put the left hand into the center, right hand behind the head there, elbow in, and open it up. Last two. Okay, and slowly come out of that. We're going to come into our deep frog stretch now. Okay, so I'll show you side on, but we're going to keep those knees out as wide as you can. We've done this one a couple of times before, and your ankles are in line with the knees. Okay, feet aren't in towards each other, the ankles are in line. So if I was standing, I'd be doing this sort of a weird plie situation. Okay, so knees out as wide as you can take it. Pop those forearms down on the ground. Heels in line and the feet flat as if you were standing. Okay, and again, we're just going to rock back and forth, deepening the stretch as we go. Two more. Okay. Right, we're going to come into a nice low squat. However, we're going to start standing. Okay, and we're going to pop those hands underneath the toes. All right, so from side on, hands underneath the toes. If you can't quite do that, then grab hold of the ankles instead. Okay, and we're going to sink the hips down towards the heels, and keeping the chest nice and close to the legs, we're going to send the hips up, stretching out the hamstrings. So come back down again and up. 8 more times. Seeing if you can straighten out the legs a little more each time as you go. One more each way. And slowly curl yourself up to standing. Right, we are into the last one. We're going to come down to a kneeling position. Sit right back on your heels, hands behind the neck, okay? Not behind the head, behind the neck. All right, we're going to tuck the chin down, close the elbows off, okay? And then we're just going to open up the chest, look up, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Okay, big deep breath into the chest. And we close everything off again, tuck the chin down, open up. Keep that going. This is a great one to do if you've been sat at your desk all day. Three more. And the final one. And relax. Okay, we're all done, team. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that one. It's definitely a lovely morning to get it done. So hopefully you find the time over this weekend to add that in to your routine. Just give yourself a little bit of kind of chill time. Super, super important. And just remember that if we want to continue to increase our strength and our fitness and put our bodies into these certain positions, then we need to work on the mobility and the range of motion to get ourselves into those positions. So, you know, don't skimp on doing a warm-up and a stretch, because they are just as important as the actual workout themselves. So try and get these sessions in a couple of times a week. Yeah, I'll update again in another 2 weeks. And I will see the rest of you on Monday for our full body session. Thank you very much.